we got breaking news. The Minnesota Twins are not in the playoffs, which means we get to celebrate. And also, here on Inside the Zone with Mateo, September 30th, 2025, we take a look at who the heck will be on the Twins in 2026. And also, I give you my MLB playoff predictions if you haven't seen it already. Everybody, stay tuned because this is going to be a great show here. Again, September 30th, last day of September 2025. Yeah, we're ready. We are ready, everybody. Welcome back to Inside the Zone with Mateo. I'm your host, Mateo, as always. And today I'm a little happier than normal because the Twins season is finally over after really the season not really ever starting good. It's just been a painful last few months if you were a baseball fan. But it's over, Twins fans. It is over. And today, as you heard in the intro, we are going to be taking a look at the season. Some good stuff, some bad stuff. We're going to look at, as the title of this episode is called, Who the Heck Will Be on the Twins in 2026? We'll take a look at that. And we will also take a look at who I think will win the World Series. Hold myself accountable from the picks I made all the way in spring training. I did post that little segment ahead of time just because I wanted to get it out there before the game started because you never know what people might say. Like, oh, the game started, that could affect it. It could, but hey, just in case, I locked in and I thought ahead of time. I gave you my predictions a few minutes before first pitch of the Tigers and Guardians game, which is still going on right now. At the moment of my recording this video, this podcast of Inside the Zone with Mateo, it is the top of the 8th inning. I believe it is 1-1 in Cleveland, game 1 of the wild card round. Never mind. It is 2-1. Yeah, cool. 2-1 Detroit? Is it 2-1 Detroit? Man, my screen is all weird today. Yeah, it is 2-1. 2-1 Detroit. Top of the 8th inning. Tarek Skubal's been looking good, bro. He has like 11 strikeouts. And then it is... Oh my goodness. Never mind. I thought that was the actual game. No, my bad. No, that's not the case. I thought the Cubs already won, but no. They just started not too long ago. Here, boys, you can see it right there. 2-1. 2-1. That's the Guardians and the Tigers. I'm just trying to... Sorry about that. But yeah. That's what we're dealing with here on Inside the Zone with Mateo. It's the MLB playoffs. My screen's not working. That's okay. I'm just gonna close it. My bad. Let's dive right into it. Let's dive it right into it. On first of all, diving in. Holy cow! All right, boys, let's lock in. Let's dive in right away here on September 30th, 2025. Boys, are we ready? Let's take a look at the batting order presented by, to be determined. If you want to present this segment, sponsor this segment, let me know in the comments, in the Google Forms, in the description of the video, or via email. Let me know, and we can get you in the slide, on the screen, and then I just can say, Inside the Zone with Mateo's week batting order. Oh, man, it should be show batting order, not week. That's my bad. we've been doing week because of the first episode of the week, and we've been like seeing what's gonna happen. My bad, I should have edited that. But boys, we made things a little more formal than just that red background. We made it a little more formal with PowerPoint. Thanks to PowerPoint, we were able to make that sick slide. Look at that, with my logo and then the order. I think it's kind of cool. But there it is. There's the order for the show today, the batting order. As we are all talking baseball, it's a Twins season review. Who will be on the Twins next year? My bracket challenge, and before the season predictions. How close did I get them? Yeah, they've been out for about 30, 40 minutes already, and I don't know. It's been okay. It has been okay. But we'll see. Give me your thoughts once we get there, and give me your thoughts on anything that I do here either in this video or any shorts I do or any other videos. And if you aren't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell button on, because hey, why not? Why not help me grow as a high schooler? Wanting to grow in this area of sports journalism. So hit that subscribe button, like the video, watch my shorts, watch my long forms, give me ideas of how I can improve, most importantly. But let's get right into the show on the Twins season review, the good and the bad. As you can see, here's a couple of the things we will talk about. So the Minnesota Twins ended the season with a record of 72 wins and 90 losses, fourth in the AL Central, just in front of the Chicago White Sox. They traded about 11 players at the trade deadline in July for a bunch of young prospects. Dumped all their either upcoming free agents or guys that just probably wanted to win somewhere else. And a couple of them are in the playoffs right now, including Willie Castro, Harrison Bader, Johan Duran, etc. Those guys, yeah, they're in the playoffs now. Byron Buxton became one of the best athletes in Minnesota Twins history. He hit .264 batting average, 35 home runs, 83 RBIs, 129 hits. He had 24 stolen bases. Yeah, that was nice to see him start stealing bases again after he's been out with a lot of injuries. And he played 126 games, which is the second most in his career. He played 140 games, as you can see on your screen, in 2017. Joe Ryan, the other Twins All-Star. So we had two All-Stars despite the terrible season. Joe Ryan went 13-10 this season in about 30 starts, I believe. 3.42 ERA. That is his lowest ERA in his 5-year career. Walked 39 batters, struck out 194 batters, which was 15th best in the MLB, obviously an all-star. Royce Lewis, he missed a good chunk of the early season, then got hurt again in like June, but altogether played 106 games, which is by far the most games he's played in his season. He played in 82 games last year, 38 the previous season, and 12 in the previous season, and that in his rookie season. So by far, he made that improvement. And, I'm not going to hate on him totally because I do think he was still a little hurt for a good half of the season. But for sure in August and September, he started to heat up, even though the Twins weren't winning as many games. But he had 13 home runs, 52 RBIs, 89 hits, 12 stolen bases. All those stolen bases coming in, I believe, August or later. He had 237 in 106 games. It's pretty good for a guy who was injured and just hadn't really found something that was working in a while. But hopefully this success can transition to better numbers next year. We'll talk about that in a second. And then one thing I thought I should note, since the Twins were so bad, they ended up in one of the worst 6 teams in the MLB. So what does that mean? Well, that means that the Angels, the Pirates, the Twins, the Nationals, the White Sox, and the Rockies will all get a top 6 pick in the draft lottery. So if you guys don't know, it's not like football where basically the draft order gets decided in football by record. But in all the other sports, NHL, MLB, NBA, They all do it a little differently, but they have this thing called the draft lottery. And it's usually the non-playoff teams and to some extent not even like the just missed playoff teams, but like the really bad teams. They get this lottery. It's like a draft, like an actual lottery for like the lottery, right? Where you get a chance, where they draw numbers, and then that's how they determine the draft order. The worst you are in most sports, you get more chances or a percentage of getting the first overall pick in the draft. So how the MLB does it is the 6 teams that finish the worst in the leagues get the top 6 percentages to get the first overall pick in the lottery. So it's all the non-playoff teams get to be in this lottery. So technically, a team like the Mets, who just missed the playoffs, will still be in the lottery, but will have like a 1% chance to get that first overall pick. But if it could happen, but it most likely doesn't, and it normally doesn't. You see all those numbers under it: 7.5, 10, 13.2, 16.5. The 3 worst teams in the league, that is going to be the Rockies, the White Sox, and the Nationals. They are all going to get a 16.5% chance to get the first overall pick. So most likely, and it tends to be one of those 3 teams. Since the Twins were that bad, though, they are going to be the 4th worst team, meaning they get the second best chance to get the first overall pick. Meaning they will have a 13.2% chance to get the first overall pick, which is almost as good as the White Sox, the Rockies, and the Nationals. Same thing with the Pirates. The Pirates will have I believe it's a 10.1 chance to get the first overall pick, and then the Angels will get a 7.5% chance. So while the Twins were bad, they were pretty bad. They were the 2nd worst team in the AL, the 4th worst team in the MLB. They do get rewarded slightly here by being able to maybe get a top 5 pick. They probably most likely will get a top 5 pick, maybe even a top 3 pick, a top 2 pick in the draft. And they could maybe add to this young core, which could be very, very interesting. And I think that was interesting and very notable to note. I think it's very significant, if you will, for us Minnesota Twins, as we're kind of recapping this season of you finished 72 and 90, which by the way isn't that bad of a record. It's still bad, but you're not the Rockies who won 43 games, which is still crazy. So you're saying hey, for being if they would have won maybe 15 more games, I think they could have maybe made a run for the playoffs in September. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So overall, there were highlights. Buxton, Ryan, Lewis were highlights, and then there were the bad things. Trading away all these players. You don't want to lose Johan Duran. You don't want to lose Harrison Bader. But you ended up doing that. Obviously, not making the playoffs is kind of disappointing. But it was an up and down season, mostly a down season. But I think it's now we're just kind of looking for the future, and we're waiting for this. What's going to happen? What on earth is going to happen? Who the heck is going to be on this team next year? And that leads us to our second part of the podcast today, and the title of this video on who the heck is going to be on the Twins in 2026. And I can already tell you, we know one guy, and we know probably 2 or 3 other guys that aren't going to be on this team next year, starting off with Rocco Baldelli. Rocco Baldelli got fired, I believe, maybe exactly 24 hours ago from recording this. I'm recording this about 2 p.m. Here on September 30th, 2025. I believe he got fired Monday the 29th around 2 o'clock, and we know he will not be back for the 2026 season. The manager, he's been here forever. They decided to let go of him, which I thought was very interesting. He still had a year left on his deal. I would have personally just let that deal, let that contract come to an end, and then just not re-sign him and find a different guy then. But hey, they decide to fire him. Maybe it sets a message through this locker room saying, hey, we're going to try to do something different. If it's a rebuild, I don't know. We'll talk about that also in a second. But yeah, we know Rocco's not going to be there. And I just want to give you my quick thoughts on this. Rocco Baldelli, I don't believe was that bad of a manager. I just think the team they put around him wasn't the best you could have done. I think I blame more the Pohlads and Derek Falvey by you could have done some other things by don't sign Sonny Gray a couple years ago after that playoff loss to the Blue Jays. Like you were there. You had a team that won the division. They won 90 plus games. They were looking good. Royce Lewis was looking good. And then you just let go, and then you don't really have any pitching because you were waiting for Joe Ryan and Bailey Ober to develop. And by the way, I don't think Bailey Ober is fully developed yet. Neither do I think is Joe Ryan. And you saw his numbers. That's crazy. Me saying he struck out almost 200 batters. And I'm saying I think Sonny Gray maybe would have added some depth to that rotation, and he was an ace. He was an ace pitcher, and then they just let him walk in free agency. So I feel like there were moves like that where Falvey and the Pohlads could have definitely have done something different to help Rocco. I think the coaches and managers get hit the hardest with these things. I feel like the general manager has a lot of things to do with it. I don't think there was anything wrong with Baldelli's coaching style. I actually kind of liked it. It was the new modern kind of managing a baseball team. But it's going to be interesting to see where he goes here. And there's been some interesting names that have been brought up in the last 24 hours. Torrey Hunter and Justin Marneau, two former very good Twins players, have been the early rumors of who they might try to bring in to be a coach. I do believe Torrey Hunter is with the Angels at the moment, and then Justin Marneau is doing TV stuff for the Twins. But they're both elite baseball minds, so I could see them becoming maybe a coach at some point or an owner. And then there's also some other. I believe they just Texas just fired their manager. So did the Giants, I believe. So there's going to be people open to the job with just not having the job anymore. And I feel like it's not going to be that hard to find it. It's just picking the right one is going to be the hardest decision for the Pohlads and Derek Falvey. But yeah, Rocco Baldelli, I'm sorry. I actually loved you, bro. He's been a part of this Twins team as long as I can remember. Like that's like ever since I started really paying attention to baseball, Baldelli's been a part of it, and it just not seeing him in the dugout's going to be kind of like this is an end of an era, and that's okay. It happens all the time. Hopefully, he finds a good job, maybe back in Tampa Bay where he spent most of his playing career. But yeah, I hope he had. I wish him the best, and I hope he has a wonderful rest of his career. I believe he's like low. He's late 30s, early 40s, so he's still young for a manager. You have Dusty Baker managing baseball till he was 80, so you never know what might happen with Baldelli. But yeah, hopefully he has a wonderful career wherever he goes. But all I know is he won't be on the Twins, and that's all kind of what we're talking about here of who won't be back in 2026 here on Inside the Zone with Mateo. Yeah, it's crazy though to think. I just this is our last show in September, bro. Like tomorrow's October 1st. This is just crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. We're already a month through the NFL season, and it's just crazy. It's like we're in MLB playoff time. It's like wow, this is cool. I love this time of the year. It's the most fun part about being a sports fan. I feel like this is the best. This is the best time. You got the NFL well underway. It's about week 5 coming up. Then you've got MLB playoffs. The NHL and NBA seasons are starting up very soon. It's just all of these big 4 sports are going on. You also got soccer. You got MLS going on. You got Premier League. You got all that other stuff. You got the excitement of the World Cup coming soon. And the Olympics too. We got the Winter Olympics. Like that's gonna be lit today, this year as well. So I'm just saying, like this is a really very exciting time if you're a sports fan. And I can't wait to give you more analysis and bring it to you all here on the channel. And I'm gonna say it one more time: to not miss an episode, turn that notification bell on, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to grow. Let's hit 20 subscribers by the end of the year. I know that's we're at 11 subscribers right now. Can we get 9 more subscribers by Thanksgiving? 9 subscribers by Thanksgiving. In 2 months, can we get 9 more subscribers? We're just trying to slowly build our way up in the rankings, and it would be helpful. It would be helpful, and I would appreciate it greatly if you would hit that subscribe button. So, if you're watching this and you aren't already, please hit that subscribe button, and I would appreciate it greatly. But let's get back to talking about the Twins of who won't be back in 2026. And the second little bullet point I have here is free agents. The free agents, there's 4 free agents really that are like listed as free agents. There's really 2 I'm only going to talk about. Because 2 are like AAA or AA guy minor leaguers that just I don't think are going to come back, or if they do, we won't know who they are well enough. I don't think they have an impact on the Twins team right now. But the 2 guys are Christian Vasquez and Justin Topa. Yeah, Justin Topa. Both are veterans. Christian Vasquez, I just don't think he's going to come back here. That's just my feeling. The Twins, in that trade, when they traded 11 players at the deadline, they got 2 catching prospects, and both could be ready by a year and a half. I don't think Christian Vasquez, who's about 35 years old now, I believe, I think he's going to try to maybe look for that winning team. If he can try to get a championship, be a backup catcher, or even just a third string catcher or DH at some days, just so he could get some more playing time. I don't think a lot of people really want him. And if the Twins get him, it's going to be for very cheap. I'm just going to say right away, I don't think Vasquez is going to be back, and I don't think Topa's going to be back. I think Topa's going to go find somewhere where he can be a very good reliever somewhere. I like him a lot. I just don't think he's going to want to be here. And I think after that fire sale at the deadline, I think it showed that Twins are headed more toward a rebuild than a playoff run. Could it be a rebuild and a playoff run at the same time? It could be, but I think Topa and Vasquez just kind of say goodbye. They don't re-sign here. The Twins don't even offer them a contract, and I think the Twins won't fall apart also if they lose those 2 players. Finally, you've probably been staring at that for like the whole time I've been just rambling and talking about nonsense about people subscribing and whatever. But the 2 L's. Now, this is not a for sure. But how much longer does Pablo Lopez and Royce Lewis stay here? It's just something I've been thinking about. Like, Pablo Lopez, sure, he got hurt, and he just got hurt again at the last week of the season. He wants to be this ace, but he wants to be on a winning team. And the only team I can think of right now that has an ace pitcher that's very bad is the Pittsburgh Pirates. Paul Skeens is a top 4, top 5 pitcher in the MLB. He's a superstar. The Pirates drafted him. Do I think Paul Skeens is going to re-sign in Pittsburgh this year when he's a free agent? I'm not sure. You see, when you get drafted in the MLB, it's unlike any other sport. They give you like 4 or 5 years of team control. Skeens couldn't do anything to get out. Pablo Lopez can do everything he wants to get out. Do I say he wants to leave? No. If another team offers the Twins a trade with Lopez, do you think they would consider it? I think so. I could see Lopez on a team that needs a pitcher. I'm thinking Cincinnati. I'm thinking maybe even Milwaukee, depending on how well they do in the playoffs. They won 97 freaking games this year, but they're young. And their offense has veterans, but their pitching doesn't have as many veterans as they probably would like. Also, San Francisco, I could see them, or San Diego, maybe with if you move some money around. But things like that, maybe even Oakland. Like, if you want to be on a young team, but like somewhere that Oakland's going to probably be good this upcoming year, in 2026. I could like that's just a few. I could see Pablo be wanting to go there, thinking it's like, yeah, I could go there. I could probably do well with there. I like these teams. I just don't think the Twins will give him a best shot. I think he has 1 or 2 years left in this deal. If the Twins trade him, I don't think it would be the end of the world. I think I'll talk about this. We have like a bunch of different little segments here. The next one is kind of like, is this a rebuild or not? Right? I think this team is kind of right in the middle. I think they can keep some pieces that are old, but not all the old pieces. I think you're going to focus more on those young players. There's a lot of good young pitching prospects. Could you trade Pablo for somebody you need? A catcher to replace Jeffers, maybe. A first baseman. The Twins haven't had a first baseman in forever. A shortstop if you don't think Keishel's right. There's a lot of positions the Twins are like okay at, but they could upgrade on. Pitching is, to be honest, the starting pitching is the only spot I'm really comfortable with the Twins and center field. Yeah, not even third base, because I think Royce Lewis has expressed frustration, and he could maybe demand a trade, or the Twins could just trade him. I wouldn't be surprised with that either. So that's why I put the 2 L's. And it's a question mark. I should have put it a question mark because it's not for sure. But I thought I'd put it there for just talking on it here on the podcast. Now, who will be back? It's a shorter list, but it's more in depth. The Buck Truck will be back. Byron Buxton has expressed his feelings. He said, "I'm a Twin for life. He will be back. Don't you worry." And then this young core will be back. I'm talking about Wallner, Brooks Lee, Luke Keeschel, Zebby Matthews, and company. Those guys are all going to be back. Where will they all be playing? That's something I might be wanting to talk about a little bit here on Inside the Zone with Mateo. Before we talk about that, I did forget about one thing. I'm going to kind of go back here to the good and the bad. A little bit about the Twins season. Some of these player stats, because it kind of goes into what we're talking about. Here are some stats from these younger guys. Okay, this is, I believe, Baseball Reference. Yes, Baseball Reference. One of the guys right here is Luke Keeschel, the youngest guy on the Twins 40-man roster. In just 49 games, he hit a .302 batting average. He walked 19 times, stole 14 bases, hit 4 home runs, 28 RBIs, 55 hits, scored 25 runs, 14 doubles, and only struck out about 30 times. His OPS, 827. It was a very short season for him because he missed like 4 months due to injury, but if this is just the start, where does things go off from here? So I guess it's not really season review. We're talking about the young guys, I guess. Like another guy, Brooks Lee. Brooks Lee had a phenomenal year. 16 home runs, 64 RBIs, hitting .236, 115 hits, 15 doubles, 1 triple. His OPS what was his OPS? Oh, it was lower. He wasn't getting on base. 654. Alan Roden, he got hurt. Like we saw him for like a week and then he got hurt, but he looked pretty darn good. I really liked watching Alan Roden play. Royce Lewis. We talked about him already. You got guys like Austin Martin. He got hurt too. Austin Martin looks like he could be an everyday outfielder. You got a lot of these stats. I just decided to pull them up so you can all kind of look at them if you wish. Here's Vasquez. Vasquez missed so much. He played 65 games. Is that is not he did not have 14 home runs, right? Please tell me he did not. No, he had 14 RBIs, 3 home runs. Okay. He hit 189. Like, that's just not gonna do. I'm sorry. Cody Clemens. I keep forgetting about Cody Clemens. He got hurt though as well. But like, there's a lot of good players here, role players that you could build around. And that's what I'm talking about here in this young core. There's a lot of guys who showed early on that, or late on in the season, that we have a future though. Like, I'm not too scared about this. This is why I just wanted the Twins season to be over, because it was a mess of a season. But now we can look forward to 2026. And I believe that this team will take a step. I believe in this team. Why do I believe on this team? Well, there's a lot riding on it. There's 3 things, in my opinion, that it's going to develop it. Not develop on it. Depend on it. One of the things is development. But it's health, development, and the stars. If the Twins can stay healthy, they were hurt so bad. Their pitching was robbed. They were pitching with a 2-man rotation and 3 bullpen games a week for a good chunk of the season. They were playing with half AAA for the first half of the season, and then AAA all came back up after that trade deadline. They were just getting clamored. Sorry about that. Clamored by injuries. So if they can stay healthy, this team, I think, could win 80-plus games, 86-plus games, 85-plus games. Maybe fight for a wild card spot or a division, because I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what this division does again. It's a hard division to predict. Development. Luke Keeschel needs to get a little better, I believe, defending. But things can be fixed in spring training, in the off season, and there's so much things riding on this development staff. All these young guys. If you can get Zebby working good, if you can get David Festa, maybe switch him over to a reliever. I do think he could do the same thing that they did to Louis Varland, who, by the way, is in the playoffs with the Toronto Blue Jays. Development is a crucial thing to understand here, or to think about while you're thinking about next season. And then Byron Buxton, the stars. Byron Buxton needs to show why he is a good player, why he is one of the league's best. 40 home run season. I think he can get there. He was 5 away in this wreck of a season. He needs to carry. When the team needs somebody to step up, I need Byron Buxton and I need Royce Lewis. I need the stars to step up. I need Joe Ryan to get better. If you want to call him a star, I want Pablo Lopez to not be hurt and carry this team. He was hurt for over half the season. I'm not blaming it on him, but I'm saying if he stays here, I need him to be that ace that we want. So I'm not going to say it's a rebuild, because if they develop these players correctly and if they develop them very well, I believe this team could make the playoffs next year. But a lot of things have to happen. So, on a scale, if development was up, if it was like a rebuild on the left, it was a playoff contending team on the right, I wouldn't be at the middle. I'd be slightly leaning over to the right side. I think we're a bit closer to a playoff team than a rebuild team, even though we have a lot of young guys. Because I did watch a little bit. I did watch these young guys play. They have potential. Keishel has potential. Martin has potential. Unless something else happens, big moves, this is going to be the last time we're going to be talking about the Twins, probably for a good 3-4 months on the Inside the Zone with Mateo. And so we'll see if these predictions stand, if what I want to see happens. Obviously, we might have a free agency episode depending on if there was a big splash of free agency, but this might be the last Twins episode of 2025. So I just want to say thank you for watching all these videos I've had. There's been a lot of crazy either trade deadline videos, Twins week previews and stuff like that. I just want to say thank you all for watching those videos. I appreciate it. And I will be back for the next season of MLB playoffs. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed these segments. And now, our last segment of the episode today will be as follows: the MLB Playoff Bracket Challenge, where I will give you my quick MLB playoff predictions for the playoffs. I will keep track of my percentages as always on my wonderful little spreadsheet, as I do with everything else. But yeah, let's get over to ESPN. There we go. Hopefully this should be good for y'all to see. There we go. As you can see, we're going to start on the left side of the bracket with the American League. Starting off with the Tigers and the Guardians. And I think right now, like, the Tigers have been so good. I'm still shocked the Guardians won this division. And it's just because they've been so good. Give me the Guardians. Give me the Cleveland Guardians to beat the Detroit Tigers in this best of 3 series, starting off at 12 p.m. today. Actually, it might even be over by the time you all are watching this, because this segment, by the way, was recorded before the game started. So this was recorded about Monday night or Monday afternoon, depending how you view it. It was like 2:30. Is it 2:30? Yeah, it's like 2:35 right now, Monday, but it's going to be in the episode on Tuesday, if that kind of makes sense. Then you got the Red Sox and the Yankees. This one's in a very interesting game. Very interesting. Do I go with the upset? I don't think I can. Give me the Yankees. Give me the Yankees. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 all in for the American League. And then we go over to the National League, where I just don't think the upset there will happen at all. With the Dodgers, the Dodgers are going to win. They're going to beat the Reds. I don't think the Reds are there yet. And then you have the only wild card here I have that could move on is I'm going to have the Padres be moving on. I think the Padres are a very good team and could do some damage. Enough damage that they not only beat the Cubs, but they also beat the Brewers, and the Padres move to the NLCS to play who? We'll talk about that in a second. Give me the Blue Jays over the Yankees. The Yankees, I just feel like Aaron Judge can't always perform in the playoffs. We'll see if that changes. I would like to see that change, but history has told us that. And then give you the Mariners. So numbers 1 and 2 in the AL, I think, are the most dominated teams right there. Any of these teams, I believe, could end up in the ALCS, but I'm going to go with 1 and 2 today. That's what I'm saying. If I were to pick an upset, I would put the Yankees over the Blue Jays. But I think the Mariners look pretty darn good enough that they will be in the World Series in a couple of weeks. And then the last game we need to figure out here in the NLCS is the Dodgers and the Phillies. Both of these two teams are very talented. And I'm not going to go with the Phillies. I'm going to go with Shohei Ohtani to make it all the way to the World Series, and Shohei Ohtani to go back-to-back. They were my pick to start this season. Why not? Why don't we just do that right now? We're going to go see my start of the season. This was like before anyone had played. I predicted everybody's records. I'm not going to hold myself accountable to the record side, but I'm going to go at least by positions wise of how they finished. Because my record predictions are awful, but like I'm pretty sure. Did I have worlds? Yeah, I did have player. Oh, I do have playoff predictions as well. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. This works. This works. Okay. Beautiful. Perfect. I do have all of it. I was wondering if I had. No, I did. Okay, good. Okay, let's start off. Here we go. Can I make. I'm going to zoom it in, guys, so y'all can still see, darn it. Can I go 300 zoom? Yeah, this will make sense, guys, in a second. This is the most I can zoom it in. Can I add a few? Let me just add a few rows. Okay, insert row. Below. All right, that works. Here we go. Share this tab instead. And there you go. Here are my AL East predictions. And yeah, you can see they're kind of interesting. I had the Orioles winning over 100 games. I also had the Yankees win over 100 games. I did, though. Look at this. I thought Toronto was going to be pretty darn competitive. Toronto wins 94 games. So do the Yankees. They end up on a tiebreak for that. But hey, that was pretty darn good. I mean, this is not good at all. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. The Yankees, it wasn't too far off. Wasn't too far off. I'm gonna say this wasn't too far off either. The Red Sox finishing fourth was actually one. They finished one ahead. They had 98, 80. No, not 98. 89 wins, and I'm gonna say that wasn't too far off either. That wasn't too far off. And then Tampa finishing last. I said they were gonna finish last. They finished 2 games ahead of the Orioles at 77 and 85. Oh my gosh! That was close. That was beautiful. Very close. Very close. I had them at 77 and 85. No, 76 and 86. No. Yeah. And they were at 77 and 85. That is impressive. I'm going to count very close. Good for me. Good for me there. I like that. Okay, cool. Cool. But none of the positions were right. The record was very close. Cool. I'm happy with that. And now we're going to move over to the NL East. Excuse me. Where in order it was Phillies, Mets, Marlins, Braves, Nationals. First place was the New York Mets. Probably the most disappointing team of this year. They had the largest payroll. They missed the playoffs. They only win 83 games. I was not good there. Next, I had the Phillies at 101 and 61. They actually won 96 games this year. What? Go back. Sorry, my bad. I'm going to say wasn't too far. Why did I spell 2 differently today? I don't know. But at third, I had Atlanta. That hurts. They were 96 and 86 this year. That's unfortunate. We won't do unfortunate. We'll see. Not too close. No, not very close. It wasn't. Yeah, no. Okay, no. You're right. You're right. I gotta hold myself accountable. And then you have no. Why can't I have just Washington finish worse? Washington. Did they even win 57 games? I don't even think they did. They won 66 games. 66 games. I thought they were going to be way worse. Those are both very off. Not good at all. Not good. So the AL East was absolutely terrible for me. The AL East was pretty darn good. Actually, not really, but like I'm just happy with that Tampa. I got like the record almost correct. Like their actual record was 77 and 85. Like one game. If the Twins would have beaten them one more time. The Twins would have beaten them one more time. You know? Moving over to the AL Central, this is going to be embarrassing. I had the Twins at 94 and 68. We know that did not happen. How many? Heck, they were 70 and 92. Yeah, no, not very good. Not good at all. Then I had Cleveland and Kansas City. Hold on, Cleveland, that's pretty close to their win total. Cleveland won 88 games. 4! I was 4. I'm calling that close. Very close. Within 5 games is close for me. Nice there. And then Kansas City. What the heck happened to Kansas City? Okay, they're 82 and 80 final. Hey, yo, that is very close. That's within 2 games. I know this AL Central except my Twins. The Tigers. I had them at 79. They won like 87. They're in the playoffs. That I'm gonna say. Okay, what did I say? I said I keep forgetting. I said it wasn't too far. Wasn't too far. Wasn't too far. I don't care if I spell that wrong or right. I don't care. The Chicago White Sox won 60 games. I had them winning 51 games. Not too close, but I'm going to say wasn't too far off. And overall, that was probably my best division so far. Let's head over to the NL Central, where this I know I'm going to get embarrassed because I had Pittsburgh winning 90 games. I thought the Pirates were good. They won 71 games. Overall, the NL Central is pretty darn freaking good. But yeah, basically a flipped record. I'm going to say flipped record. I need 2. Flipped record? Is that correct spelling? I don't know. Then I had Cincinnati and Milwaukee. This is embarrassing. All right, Cincinnati made the playoffs at 83 and 79. Boys, 83 and 79 spot on. I don't care if they finished technically third. They technically finished third. I don't care. Woo, boys. All right, Milwaukee had them right at 500. That's not good for a team that won like 97 games. Yeah, 97 games. No. And then St. Louis and then the Cubs. I'm sorry, Cubs. I thought St. Louis won 65. Yeah. Darn, bro. That's like 13 less. No, I'm gonna say not good. Yeah, but man, besides Cincinnati, I'm shocked, bro. I'm shocked. I don't normally get any of these records right. Like, I'm surprised that I'm not getting any of these positions right. I know I'll get a couple right with like the Dodgers, but like, wow, that's crazy. I never get these records right, and I'm getting them pretty close, which is kind of cool. All right, coming up next, the AL West, where I had the Texas Rangers winning that division. They were right at 500, 81 and 81. Don't know what the heck happened, and I do know I had them representing the AL in the playoffs. So that's not very good. And as you can see, I have Houston, and then I have Seattle, bro. Like, what a disrespect to Seattle. I'm just gonna not good at all, brother. I'm sorry. Houston, oh my goodness. The Astros' actual record were 87 and 75. Wait. That I messed up. That's 163 games, guys. It should be 88 and 74. That means I was one off. Spot on. Spot on, boys. Spot on. Let's flip and go. The A's, did they win more than 50? Yeah, they won 76 games. They were better than the Twins. Wait, were they better than the Twins? Yep, they won 6 more games than the Twins. Wow. And then the Angels 72. Okay, so those are both not close. Beautiful. All right. Well, hey, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. And finally, the Dodgers. I had them winning 120 games. Why would I do that? I'm not quite sure. They won 93 games. They won the second most games, I believe, and no, third most, maybe fourth most. I don't know. They made things. The Padres made things interesting. Arizona. I mean, I'm gonna say like, what do I say? Because I got the position right. Debatable. I'll say debatable. Arizona. What the heck happened to Arizona? They won 80. Bro. That's within 5. I'm saying that's spot on, bro. I was in the ballpark there. I was in the ballpark. San Diego 80 and 82. That. How does that? So they were 90 and 72. I was just gonna say that's not. Wasn't too far. That wasn't too far at all. And then these two. Why did I have so many people in the 50 wins? But oh my goodness. It wasn't too far. So Colorado, I had them winning 51. They won 43. And then the San Francisco Giants won 81 and lost 81. So that was not good. But hey, that was my best division so far. So to recap my predictions, the best one was okay. So like that was with Tampa was good. Philly wasn't too close. It was okay. Cleveland was very close. Kansas City was very close. I was spot on with Cincinnati. Spot on with Houston. Spot on with Arizona, and then I was pretty good, debatable with the Dodgers, and cool. All right, let's see who I thought was gonna make the playoffs. Oh shoot, bro. Here you can see. All right, so the Twins would have won the division according to my playoffs, and would have been taking on the Astros, and I had them winning in 3. The Yankees beating the Guardians. Yankees winning 2. Okay, so like the Yankees finished in 4th. That's a good prediction. Can I like do something fun? Yeah. No, we need a green. Green for check mark. Let's go. The Yankees, that's a spot on. And then none of this. Wait, Guardians are 5 or 6. No, they won the division. Never mind. But whatever. None of those other teams made the playoffs. Should I fill them all? Should I fill them all red? Yeah, fill them all red. Fill them all red. Dang. We can fill these all red. Sorry, Oriole fan. I thought you were going to be good too. And then we scroll down. The Dodgers and the Mets. Okay. Well, the Dodgers, yeah, they didn't. They didn't get the bye. They have to play where the Pirates, the D-backs, the Braves, the Phillies even won the division. So, oh my gosh. Bro, I'm sorry. Woo! That's a whole lot of red, boys. All right. Dodgers could technically win in the divisional series, but like that's a whole lot of red. Guys, this hurts, but I'm holding myself accountable here. And then we move over to the NL Championship. That could still happen. Dodgers could win in 5. That's not going to happen at all. Holy flip. And where's the World Series? The World Series was Rangers, Dodgers, and there you go, boys. My World Series prediction was still alive. That is why. That is why I showed you guys. Share this tab here. Boom. That is why I'm picking the LA Dodgers. Submit the bracket. You pick to walk off with the LA Dodgers. Let's go, boys. That is right. Yeah, we don't really need to see my awards. Those are kind of messed up, and they're kind of actually kind of on, but like I don't need to say anything about that. But hey, let's zoom in 90%. Let's just see all this red. Wow, guys, look at our bracket. Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. Should I do the same thing with the records? All right, hold on. I'm gonna spend this time, and you're gonna see me jump right to it. 3, 2, 1. And boom, there we go. There it is. The full color. And so it's like a lot of red, but like overall, it's pretty darn good. Let me know how you think I did. This was, by the way, this was like, I don't know, like during spring training is kind of when I did this. So, hey, I think I did pretty darn good. This is probably one of the hardest sports to predict the entire season because there's so many games. Records were okay. There was a lot off, but some were right, which I thought was pretty fun. And I hope you all enjoyed today's video of me talking about, the Twins, Rocco Baldelli, who's going to be on them. Let me know who do you think is going to be on the Minnesota Twins? Who you think is going to be on your team, or who do you think is going to be traded or released, or you never know, just not re-signed on your favorite team? Because I would love to know. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my picks as well. Let me also know your picks. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Hopefully you got to enjoy some MLB playoffs already today, and continue to enjoy more games. Probably the Dodger game tonight, or maybe even the other Philly game, I believe, is the next game on when this is going to get published around. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to keep God first. Have a good one.